around here, sugar, and give me a little good luck, will you?
I'm not so sure about that, Kansas.
Well, I am, honey.
$50, Kansas.
50.
50.
Well, looking over the scenery, I reckon I can afford the trip. How many?
2.
And 2 to the dealer. What are you doing?
I'm checking to you.
Well, I reckon I'm still traveling for another 50.
Sorry to spoil your trip, but if you're traveling with me, the fare'll cost you 200 better.
200? Hey, you ornery, ring-tailed, spamming son of a cayuse. You ain't left me that much.
So I can get it. The cards will wait.
An hombre like you, Joe, is lower than a snake's belly in a 40-foot well. I'll learn you this game. Where's Pete?
En el otro cuarto.
Leave them cards where they're a-setting till I get back. And if that knife is so much as touched, someone's going to celebrate a funeral. And he won't be among the mourners.
Strike me, Pink. I've never seen canvas so peaceful before.
Come on, Goldie. I'm setting them up.
Yeah, right over here.
What do you have, Joe?
Right?
Ice?
You know I never used any ice, Goldie.
Just thought of my coolie wool. Maybe hot where you'll be going, if Kansas gets on your track.
El chamaco busca su muerte. Poco habla un funeral.
Aquí, ven aquí. Come on with me, eh? Hey.
Lady, I'm feeling like a bee, don't you? Huh? You like a bee, huh?
You're pretty young to be meeting your maker so soon, ain't you, stranger?
I don't aim to be meeting him. Just yet.
Well, I promised the boys I'd give a funeral for the first cuss that touched that knife. And there's just one way you can disappoint them. Joe, I didn't raise the money to cover that bet. But you're covering it for me. You're gonna play my hand, and don't lose. Sit down.
How much is the bet?
$200.
I'm raising you 100.
You're 100? And 100 better.
I'm calling you.
Why, you...
I wouldn't be so ladylike with my shooting iron, Joe. You know, lightning never strikes twice in the same place. Hold on there, you curly-headed stray. That was my bet you covered.
We'll divide, partner.
All right, you're on. Kansas is my name. What's yours, young'un?
Just call me Texas.
All right, Tex.
There's yours, Park.
Well, ain't you taking in a lot of territory, Tex?
Well, isn't Texas bigger than Kansas?
Kansas always was a poor state. Boys, come here. I want you to meet Tex. Taking in a lot of territory when it calls itself Texas. But from now on, if you want to get to Texas, you've got to cross Kansas.
I say, Texas, old thing, Fancy Joe will have to travel very fast. Hey, what? I'm glad to meet you, Tex. Say, will you have a little drink with me?
No. Sadie, I want you to meet Tex. Tex, this is French Sadie, the whitest woman this side of the border.
Then, if you are Kansas friend, you are my bon ami too.
Hey, wait a minute. He can be your friend, but nobody but me is going to be your bonami.
Oh, of course, darling.
I'm mighty pleased to meet you, Mattie Moselli.
Oh, darling, mais vous êtes très galant, mon petit ami.
What's that?
I think I like this one.
Say, how's your hot tamales?
For you, darling? Oh, I have the two most beautiful ones. Oh, delicious. You like them hot, monsieur?
The hotter the better.
How would you like to sink your teeth in them?
I broke the leading.
All right, go in there.
Go ahead.
Go on, quick.
Down to Yorktown to marry the governor's daughter. Well, now sit right down there and prepare to get hot. Tamale. The cowpuncher and the blushing maiden. Would you mind educating me as to just where you got that fourth ace from?
The hand is quicker than the eye, Kansas.
Listen, darling. I think it's a much better idea if I give the young one his hot tamal. Such man is very dangerous for a nice girl like you. Don't you worry about me, Sadie. So you like this new one, eh? You can't fool Sadie. Someday you'll go back to meet some other man, some kind of man who is much better than the one who come to French Sadie place. Am I any better than they are? Don't speak like that. Certainly you are. You are a very nice girl. Look at me. I never was a good girl like you. But that's not the matter. Go on, darling. Go on. I was just kidding you.
I smell tamales. Oh, here they are. Hey, where'd you go for them tamales? Up to Amarillo or somewhere?
Fell off my bicycle on the way in.
Hey, did you ever meet this maverick?
No, I haven't, Kansas.
Tex is his name.
Hello, Tex.
I'm mighty pleased to meet you, Miss,
Just Goldie.
Miss Goldie.
Boy, there ain't nobody can always like Sadie. Get in there, boy.
Anything else before I leave, Kansas?
I don't know. Anything for you, Tex?
Can't you think of something, Kansas?
Can't you think of something, Goldie?
Well, if it so happens I do, I'll come back and tell you.
doing, Tex? Catching on far?
Who is she?
You heard her name.
Yeah, but,
People's business down here is minding their own. She's a good kid. That's what Sadie said. And what Sadie said goes.
But what's she doing in this roundup?
What's anybody doing down here? I might be asking you the same thing. But of course I ain't. But now that we're friends, do you mind my asking if anybody might be expecting you here in Campo Santo?
Why?
Well, the sheriff was down here a while ago from across the border.
Yeah?
Peering around like he might be expecting to see someone. Of course, no star packer would be looking for you.
Me? No. Of course, accidents will happen sometimes, Kansas. No matter how careful a fella is.
Too bad about accidents.
Tell to Kansas. Sadie wants to speak to him. How do it? How do it?
Sadie?
Don't ask any question. Go on.
Sadie wants a word with you, Kansas.
All right.
Don't be in a hurry to get back.
My learning ain't so extensive, but I can manage a couple of words if it'll oblige you.
You'll like him when you know him better.
I don't have to know him any better to like him. I don't know you, but I like you.
Make up your mind quick, don't you?
A lot quicker than I change it.
What makes you think you like me?
Well, you're a pretty girl, ain't you?
I'll bet you like your horse, too, don't you?
My horse? Why, yeah, why?
Well, isn't he a pretty horse?
Oh, I wasn't meaning it that way.
Oh, don't bother to explain. You can hardly imagine it matters to me what you mean.
But it matters to me considerable.
Yes, that's what they all say.
And see, Joe, he's just gone out.
Well, what of it?
I don't like the way he looks.
Well, I don't either, but it's a little bit late to improve upon the Creator.
It is just like the cat. He sees too well in the dark. Understand?
Yeah? Well, don't you worry. As my old friend Tex says, the hand is quicker than the eye.
Oh, please don't go yet.
Do me a favor.
Yes. What?
Give me a kiss.
You know me.
Now I'm set for anything.
Oh, no, please, Tony. I was just a kid.
Well, I didn't aim to be leaving you two together so long, but I've been adding a few French words to my vocabulary. Looks like you've made pretty good use of yourn, Tex.
I guess I got mine sort of balled up, Kansas. Saying one thing and meaning another.
What he have to say to you?
How much, Sadie, he likes your tamales.
Oh, pas mal. Je vous l'ai dit que c'était un homme dangereux.
Well, it's getting late, Tex. We better be drifting.
Non, pas encore.
Oh.
No, not so soon, no. All right. Here is your coat. This is yours. And this is yours.
Oh, man.
Don't forget.
Beat drum lowly and play the pipe slowly. Play me a dead march to carry me on. Take me out on the prairie and lay
I know I've done wrong. Yeah, they...
One thing about solitaire, you don't have to guess who's cheating. Getting so honest, Kansas, you have to play cards all by yourself?
Coming from you, Rand, I don't take nothing personal in that flippant remark. Sit down.
Holding good cards these days, Kansas?
Well, I might use an ace if you got right one up your sleeve.
Meaning I'm to count you in on a new deal? Partners like before?
I ain't so sure of that, Rand. Seeing as I got me a new partner. Name's Tex. Fastest shooting young maverick you ever saw. Drifted in here from across the border a week ago. I sort of took a shine to him right off.
What brand?
I ain't asked him no particulars, and I ain't told him none. But when he hits the trail, I sort of figure I'll be traveling along with him.
Maybe he'd figure on traveling along with us, Kansas.
Well, there's some men that's particular what trail they take. And then there's some that figure cattle rustling about the lowest occupation there is. Of course, they don't look at it from in a purely business way like you and me.
No harm in asking him, is there?
I'd rather that had come from you, Rand. Not that he figures me for a saint. But if he wasn't just, congenial about my occupation, I'd just as leave he didn't know. You being the respected foreman of the Circle H, I figured you could sort of feel him out on the proposition better than me.
Where is he?
Well, you might ask, Goldie.
Yeah? Thanks. I will.
But don't forget, Rand, he isn't to know about me.
Wait a minute, Goldie. I have something to tell you.
Anything you haven't told me before?
Ain't it about time you're changing your mind? You don't want to be buried for the rest of your life in this dump, do you? I had another letter from that ranch up in Canada that wants me. I'd go, too, if you'd go with me.
That's the only reason you're thinking of it?
What else?
You hear things this side of the line, Rand. That if the boss of your cow could hear them, it might make Canada a lot healthier for you.
Them as don't have clean skirts themselves shouldn't do much talking. A killing's a killing, even if a woman done it and a man was a dirty rat that had it coming. It's too bad the law don't look at it the way I do. But if I was holding it against you, you don't think I'd be asking you now to be my wife.
I don't want to seem ungrateful, Rand. But I could never care for you the way you want me to.
Wouldn't it be worth it to you to try? Why, I'd slip you over the border. In a week, we'd be in Canada. And I could make you happy, Goldie.
So, do you know Tex?
Well, so you...
Howdy, Rand.
I've heard a lot about you from a particular good friend of yours.
Yeah? Sort of surprised to hear that.
Mr. Kennedy is the foreman of the Circle H.
Not a bad outfit for a cowhand to tie up with. Is it, Goldie?
You're the foreman of that outfit. You ought to know.
Goldie, es mejor que vayas a atender a tu negocio, no nomás está aquí platicando.
Muy bien.
¿Qué van a tomar ustedes, señores? Have a drink, Tex?
Not drinking.
Yeah. You think you'd be interested punching for the Circle H?
I let my brand and iron cool off a long time ago for $25 a month.
Your shooting iron ain't been cooling off none from what I hear. Thinking it over, your talents would sort of be wasted punching for the Circle H when I could use 'em so convenient in my own private business. Meaning you could warm up that brand and iron for considerable more than $25 a month.
Sounds kind of interesting. I ain't too particular where I tangle my rope, as long as I'm not dangling on the other end of it.
Now you're talking.
There you are. How about the change?
The change is in the weather bill.
That's a pippin' name.
Now that you know the particulars, Tex, what do you say?
I'm mighty careful who I ride with, Rand. Who's in your outfit?
Well, there's 3 boys ride with a Bar Y when they ain't riding with me. You get what I mean.
Yeah.
And there's Pancho and Dusty, but you wouldn't be knowing them. You don't have to worry none. They've been with me before.
Are you sure there's no one else riding with you?
That's all. Shakespeare says there ain't no more. Well, I guess I'll travel, Tex. See you later.
So long. Rand a friend of yours?
He said he is. What of it?
Oh, nothing. I was going to tell you something, Goldie, but I guess it doesn't matter to you.
You needn't tell me. I knew you'd be going away. One of these days.
I guess you're glad.
Coming back, Tex?
Wouldn't mean nothing to you, would it?
I'd be sorry if you came back. For the same reason that brings them all back here across the border, sooner or later.
But that wouldn't be why. I didn't know you when I drifted in here.
You don't know me now, or anything about me. That makes us even, doesn't it?
I don't have to know anything about you, Goldie, because nothing would make any difference in what I want to tell you when I come back.
Imaginez avec des poules là, en train
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Tex. Tell him the one you just told him. Go on.
No.
Go on.
He's too young. Look, it's blushing already.
I'll tell him. Listen, did you ever hear the one about the dirty window? You can't see through it. I say you can't see through it.
I kicked the slats out of the cradle the first time I heard that one.
Non, you sais comme ça, this is one on you.
Oh, wait a minute, I got another one.
Oh,
Wait.
mon pauvre chéri, tu n'as pas de succès aujourd'hui. L'autre fois, je reviendrai.
Reckon be easier pulling a mare's tooth than to break you away from these congenial surroundings. Hey, Tex?
Yeah, I guess so.
I've been wondering if you were figuring on pulling up stakes.
I'm glad you spoke of it, Kansas. I've been thinking of how I was going to tell
Oh,
you.
it don't matter where I go, just so I don't stay too long in one place. Which way we headed, partner?
We ain't.
We ain't? What do you mean?
We're taking different trails for a spell, Kansas.
Between you and me, them's fighting words. Well, I guess we ain't friends no more.
Why, sure we are. Do you think it was easy for me to tell you that I'm drifting?
Well, if you mean it that way, I'm sorry.
Maybe I'll pick up your trail again.
Oh, sure. You never can tell where 2 trails will cross. Good luck, Tex.
Thanks.
Take good care of yourself.
Sure will. So long.
So long. So long.
You weren't going without saying goodbye.
But I'll be coming back. Like I told you.
I've seen them come and go from this place, and some of them never came back. They never...
But I'm not going very far, Goldie. Why, I'd come back and see you all the time if I thought you wanted me to. Only I wouldn't want Kansas to know.
I'm not asking you where you're going. I don't care. But if you didn't come back...
Did it mean that much to you?
Well, we're all here, aren't we, Rand? Now we are.
Kept my trail sorter than expected to, Tex.
Kansas always did slip a joker in the deck.
Yeah. Just my luck to draw it. I'm sure sorry to see you riding in this outfit, Kansas.
Yeah, I'm plumb ashamed to be found in such bad company.
Well, let's get going.
Tex! Come here! Haven't you powdered your nose yet after that beauty sleep?
What's troubling you, you old buzzard?
These fancy hours you're keeping is demoralizing this outfit.
What do you mean?
I mean, you're putting it on the bum. If you should go to bed at night instead of sashaying around down at the border.
I got my social duties to attend to, Kansas.
Well, next time you go lollygagging around Goldie, be sure you take me with you.
That's a good idea, Kansas. So, you're down to see Goldie last night?
Yeah. Any objection, Rand?
Funny I didn't see you down there.
I saw you. I guess that's why you didn't see me. I always figured that 3 was a crowd, so I just naturally waited until the crowd stampeded.
Oh, I guess that's why the kids got the laugh on you, Red.
It wouldn't be so funny if he had to laugh on all of us.
What do you mean? Say what you're thinking.
I ain't saying nothing yet.
Well, this ain't no time to be getting riled just because you're hankering after Goldie. The boys are getting restless. When do we ride?
We're riding just as soon as I find out where he's riding. The next time he goes visiting Goldie.
Seen him if he was headed that way. What do you suppose we lost him?
Yo no sé por dónde, pero yo creo que por allí.
And he ran into a gopher hole.
Maybe the same one he ran into last night.
I'd be sure what I was saying, Rand, before I said too much.
You and Pancho hit the trail back to Sadie's place. Just to satisfy yourself, Kansas. I'm making a detour. I'll see you later.
What'd you say is going, Rand?
I didn't say. I might find that gopher hole.
You sure there won't be no slip?
Don't worry about me seeing you through. Just as soon as we find out when your outfit's riding.
Hello, Rand.
Hi, boy. Have a chair. Mighty glad to see you, Rand. What's new out at the Circle H?
Just what I dropped in to see you about, Jim. I drove 1,000 head of cattle this side of Paiute Range. The old man's beginning to worry about rustlers again.
Well, you can ease the old man up that it's my idea that them rustlers figure this country is too hot to hold them in again. I've got a long rope that's just hankering to be introduced to that gang.
I'll tell the old man what you told me. He's sort of be relieved. Oh, by the way, Jim, remember the case of that Morgan girl?
Morgan?
You remember, Jim, that pretty blonde, Bess Morgan, that killed that man over in Laredo about 2 years past?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do remember. What about her?
Oh, fella knows her, was asking me. Did you ever get any trace of her?
Never found hiding a hair. I guess she got across the border like they figured.
Case self-defense, was it, Jim?
Well, justifiable killing, they found out afterwards. Pretty tough. You know, she was a sweet little kid. Too bad that she got all panicky-like and pulled up stakes. Before the law had a chance to tell her that she was a free woman. It's always best to take your chances with the law.
I guess you're right, Jim. So long.
You're going towards the Circle H. I'll ride along with you for a spell.
Sure.
All right.
Think you smell a mouse?
I'm not so sure.
Men like Candace don't give you no chance, boy. Scout for him.
I've sort of been figuring on looking out for Kansas.
You know, I'd kind of like that old prairie dog if he didn't carry so much damnation in those 6 guns of his.
Yeah? I ain't got much use for him. Of course, I don't know him like you do.
You better be riding, Tex. Ram might take in his head to double back.
Hello, stranger.
Sure is flattering to have somebody get all head up over seeing me.
Tex isn't with you?
Oh, he'll be drifting in shortly. It takes something mighty important to keep him from seeing you. Like last night, for instance.
Last night?
He was here, wasn't he?
Why, no.
Reckon it must have been something mighty important.
Oh, mon Dieu, for such a so long time, darling. Oh, I'm so glad to see you again. I think you have forget me. Do you know, darling, it's the most hard thing to be faithful to a man who stay away so long from me. What's the matter with you? It is another woman that you are thinking of? Answer me.
I wished it was.
Quoi? What you say? Mais c'est pas possible. Tu m'as pas... Oh, et moi qui reste fidèle à un homme pareil, oh, sans cœur, ingrat, lâche. Hush!
Wait a
I don't
minute,
want to
Goldie.
see you again, you son of a gun.
Howdy, Kansas.
Hello, Tex.
You think I'd never get here, Goldie?
A little bit late, ain't you, Tex?
Oh, it is maybe that he has some other woman he think of. Huh?
Kansas is getting to be a regular nursemaid. I can't get away from his apron strings for very long anymore. Afraid I might get into trouble.
I'd sure hate to see Tex get into any kind of trouble.
You were right about that other woman, Goldie. Only she was waiting on me in the general store. Started telling me about her 4 husbands. Took her most an hour before she buried the first one, so I could shut her up and buy this little present for you.
Why, Tex. It's beautiful.
Oh, it isn't much. But it's the best I could do on such a short notice, seeing you only told me about your birthday last night.
Why, Tex, you've made a liar out of me. I told Kansas you didn't see me last night.
Afraid he'd be jealous?
Oh, you'll think it's silly, maybe. But I didn't want Rand to know.
Oh, Rand.
I haven't told you, Tex, how Rand feels about me. Kansas knows.
What makes you think I'd be telling him something that was none of his business?
Because I don't know what his business is with you. Are you, Tex? Oh, I'm not a fool, Kansas, and I'm not blind.
You better keep your eyes closed so you won't see too much. Here comes that old buzzard now. Oh, Rand. What's been detaining you? I was afraid you might have run into a gopher hole.
Any along, Tex?
Long enough.
He's been hunting himself up a birthday present for Goldie.
You didn't tell me it was your birthday, Goldie.
Never told you you had a wait for my birthday, did I? Like it, Rand?
Ain't you gonna put it on? And we'll go to a prayer meeting.
Prayer meeting wouldn't hurt any of you, sheep herders.
Sheep herders. I guess we better be moseying along.
Yeah, I reckon so. You better say goodnight to Goldie for me, Rand,
Sure, Tex.
if you're staying. Let's fit, Kansas.
Right. And be careful about that particular gopher hole.
What happened, my friend? He was there?
Couldn't prove that in a court of law, Pancho. But we ain't dealing in that brand of law.
It may be Tex have suspicions of a big thing.
No, Kansas has him plumb fooled.
I feel much better. He should not ride with us.
Maybe he won't.
How you mean?
Tex thought he put something over on us tonight when he showed up here. But the next time he goes riding out from the cabin paying social visits, he won't come back.
Bueno. I think I understand you, my friend. In that case, I'll take care of him myself, personally.
Well, Goldie.
Excuse me, beautiful senorita.
Pretty, isn't it?
You are. Prettier every time I see you, Goldie. Sit down.
Where do they go?
Well, Tex told me to tell you goodbye for him. He and Kansas had to leave sort of satellite.
Well, I like that.
Tex didn't mention when he was coming back. Would it specially matter to you?
Why should it? You're not jealous of that kid, are you?
No. But I thought maybe he was the reason you ain't been so friendly like Goldie.
Oh, that's silly. Of course I'm friendly to you, Rand. I like you a lot.
Yeah? I ain't heard you say that you were changing your mind about what I told you.
I was just thinking about it, putting on this dress. I haven't worn a dress like this in a long time. And it sort of made me realize what this place is doing to me. Oh, I can't stand much more of it. I've got to get away.
That's easy. You could go with me in the morning. I'd hide you out for a couple of days, just till I clean up my affairs. Then we could hit the trail for Canada.
I'm not kidding you, Rand, that I love you. I don't. Maybe I could learn to care for you a lot.
I'll take that chance, Goldie.
Then I'll go with you.
There's only one way to seal that kind of a bargain.
Hey, Tex! Yeah? Fetch me out that can of towel, will you?
Where is it?
Well, it's up in Nellie's room behind the clock. What the Sam Hill?
Come on, honey. Ah, there we are. Hi, boys.
Hello, Rand.
Well, you weren't tongue-tied the last time I saw you, Kansas.
Where'd you say that can of towel was?
Well, how are you, Tex? Wait a minute, Tex. I was just about to say that Goldie's going to partake of some of our southern hospitality for a few days. Just till I straighten out my affairs. And she and me are leaving for Canada.
Have you gone plumb loco, Rand?
Can hardly blame a man for going loco over a girl like Goldie. Can you, Tex?
You've got better taste, Rand, than some folks I ain't naming.
Run along inside, honey. Make yourself to home. I've got to get back to the ranch now, but I'll be back again tonight.
Goodbye, Rand.
Ain't you going to say it with a kiss?
What are you drawing to, Rand? You know that gal don't love you.
Don't she? Maybe you're right.
Well, then why did you bring her here?
It occurred to me that maybe she was getting lonesome down below the border, hiding out for a killing.
What do you mean?
Bess Morgan was acquitted of the killing right after she beat it over the border to French Sadie's place and changed her name to Goldie. It's too bad the law never caught up with her to tell her that she wasn't wanted.
And you've been keeping that under your hat all this time? If I couldn't get a woman any way but that, I'd be riding single the rest of my life.
What are you beefing about? You can tell her the good news if you want to. If Tex don't beat you to it.
You ain't asking me to believe that he knows about it.
I do. If he was listening to me in the sheriff's office last night, hiding behind a door. The first time you hear him ask Goldie whether she's Bess Morgan, and then tells her what I've just told you, it'll prove even your trust in mine that he's working out of the sheriff's office, and he's out to hang every one of us.
All I gotta say is, you better be right.
And if I am, what about Tex?
His trail, right there.
Tex, I've been waiting all day for a chance to see you alone. You didn't believe that I was really going with him, Tex, did you?
Are you?
Of course not. But I didn't know where you were. I took the chance that I'd find you wherever Rand brought me.
Find me? What for?
To warn you not to go riding again, Tex. Because Rand said you wouldn't come back. Oh, don't you see? I thought if I came up here, you wouldn't have any excuse to go riding. Would you?
Of course not, honey. Why should I?
Then why did you tell Kansas that you came to see me the other night? Well, what did Rand mean when he said that Kansas had you fooled? That you didn't think that they suspected you?
Suspected me? I reckon Rand better let Kansas talk for himself. I don't think Kansas would let a lying, jealous cuss like Rand fill him full of a lot of nonsense about me. It was mighty fine of you to come here and warn me, Goldie.
There's something I haven't told you about, Tex. I'm wanted by the law. Tell you now. That's why I've been at Sadie's. Oh, it doesn't matter. But Rand knows. He always wanted to get me out of there and take me to Canada if I wanted to go.
So that's his game. I got some sad news for you, Rand. When we're finished riding tonight, Goldie's taking that trail to Canada, but you won't be with her, 'cause I'm going in your place.
Yeah?
Tell him, Goldie, what you told me.
Tex,
Seems she got the idea you didn't approve of my calling on her so often, and that you were going to put a permanent stop to it. Of course, I knew she had you all wrong, Rand, but I thought she'd feel better to hear you say so. Hadn't you better say it?
You've said too much already.
I wouldn't start nothing I couldn't finish, Tex.
I'm finishing way ahead of you. Got that? I'm thanking you for bringing Goldie out here, seeing it saves me the trouble of riding into town. Of course, I wouldn't like to deprive you of the pleasure of trying to kill me, Rand. So if you're still feeling that ambitious, maybe now is just as good a time as any.
Wait a minute. I want to talk to you. You go inside.
I sort of figured you'd be paralyzed at a showdown, Rand.
All right, Kansas. Maybe he wasn't in the sheriff's office that night. And maybe he's too smart to let on. But what about the night we know he didn't see Goldie? Are you still believing that?
I'm thinking
What?
that we're riding.
And Tex?
My apron strings, where I can keep an eye on him, just in case something should happen, like you said. And I want to be she don't come back. But if you're wrong, Rand, don't aggravate me by mixing your personal grievances with business.
We're riding.
What did Rand mean when Goldie happened to overhear him tell Pancho that you had me fooled?
Don't you know better than that? You're a friend of mine, ain't you, Tex?
Why, sure.
What does it matter what Rand said? If he's so jealous of you, he'd say anything. Do you suppose if a man in his right mind said to me that a friend of mine, like you, for instance, was a star packer, that I'd believe it?
If you did believe him, Kansas, what would you do?
I'd shoot him like a snake. Oh, well, let's forget it. I wanted to tell you something I didn't want Goldie to hear.
What?
We're riding.
When?
Tonight. The boys are waiting outside.
I ain't riding, Kansas. After tonight. I'm taking a different trail with Goldie. I wish you would go along with us. I'm gonna sort of miss those apron strings of yours, Hardner.
You're a great kid, Tex. Partner.
What do you say?
I'll tell you after we get through riding.
Rock, you stay here. Boys, here's where we spread out. Tex will give us a signal when he fires.
Pretty nice looking bunch, eh, Tex? Stock us up for a long time.
Sure will, Kansas. Remember what you said back in the cabin? That you would tell me when we finished riding if you were taking my trail?
Yeah. But we ain't finished yet.
You are. Don't move till I tell you. And then turn around easy like and head for the creek. You can make it that way without them getting you. I'll hold my fire till you're gone.
You remember that about shooting a star packer like a snake? I wish I'd have believed Rand and done it.
You got me wrong, Kansas. It ain't too late for our trails to cross again.
If they ever do, You better see me coming. Get going.
Where are they? Where's Tex?
What I told you before goes. That star-packing friend of yours ain't never coming back.
Oh, Tex, you're hurt.
Just a scratch, Beth.
Sit down, Tex. Don't you do that. Let me take care of it for you.
Turn around, Tex, so you can see who's giving it to you.
Get going, Kansas, before they get you.
Not until I get you.
Goldie.
Sure is mighty flattering. See you all head up over me, Goldie.
I see you got Rand. I was kind of hoping that pleasure would be mine.
Did you get the rest of them?
All but Kansas, and I figure on getting him. Too bad you got hit there, kid. Come on in the cabin and I'll wash that up for you.
Don't bother about that now. The last time I saw Kansas, he was headed for the pass. You take the ridge, Sheriff, and I'll take the canyon. We'll try and head him off.
That's the idea.
Ain't you gonna show me where you got that fourth ace, Tykes?
Sure, Kansas. And then we'll take that different trail. You and Goldie and me.
You and Goldie. But I finished riding. Partner.